Hey kids, welcome to our lesson for the week. Today we are following Paul, again, like we always do. Today is Paul, but he's talking to our good friend Peter. Remember Peter, one of the disciples of Jesus? Let's listen to the story. Paul wrote to the Galatians about what was going on in Jerusalem with Barnabas and Titus. He went quietly to talk to the leaders, James, Peter, and John. When they heard he was sent to preach the gospel to the Gentiles, they welcomed Paul and Barnabas. They all agreed Paul should go to preach to the Gentiles. In Antioch, Paul heard that Peter often spoke to the Gentiles and ate meals with them, at least for a while. But when other believing Jews came to Antioch, Peter stopped. He stopped spending time with the Gentiles or even eating with them. Others saw what Peter did, and they too stopped spending time with the Gentiles. Even Barnabas changed what he was doing. Paul knew this was not right. He was so disappointed with Peter, and he scolded Peter in front of everybody.
"I'm Paul. I have a different hat today. I hope that doesn't confuse you. Sometimes you are comfortable with the Gentiles, living like they do, and yet other times you expect them to change who they are and follow Jewish rules."
Paul reminded Peter that no one is saved except by faith in Jesus. Paul told Peter that he did not have to worry about following old ways of doing things. Following rules does not help save people. Faith in Jesus does. God offers new life in Christ to all believers. In the story today, Paul confronted Peter about something that he was doing wrong. Peter would act one way when he was around certain people, but when other people came around, then he acted a different way. This isn't what we're supposed to do. It's sort of like if there was someone at school who wasn't very popular, and maybe they were your friend, so when it's just the two of you, you talked to them, and you ate with them, and you had a good time, and you were friendly with them. But then, when other more popular kids came around, they didn't like that person, so then you stopped spending time with them. That wouldn't be the right thing to do, would it? It's sort of like that. In this story, Peter is spending time with the Gentiles, and he's talking to them and eating with them and preaching the gospel to them. The Gentiles are people who are not Jewish. That's all that means. But then, when some Jewish people came into town, they sort of didn't really like that Peter was talking to the Gentiles. And then Peter stopped, even though he probably should have kept doing it. Paul saw this, and he said to Peter, that's not the right thing to do. People aren't saved by Jesus just because they're Jewish. They're saved by Jesus because they believe in him, no matter who they are. So this is a good lesson for us. We're not Christians because maybe our parents were Christians or our grandparents were Christians. We're Christians because we decide to follow Jesus. It's a personal thing for all of us. In the same way, we need to act like Christians no matter where we are, no matter who's around us or who's looking at us, even if it might make us less popular or might make some people think we're a little bit weird. We want to still act like Jesus around everyone. That's the lesson for today. And this is our last lesson before we take a break for the summer. But stay tuned for more things to come. See you guys around.